We're making a video on My Story Animated. Okay, my dad kidnapped me and did it with me 5 times. Wait, what? That's kinda... Did it with you, so he kidnapped you with you 5 times? I reload. My 7 years old. So you got it right in the title, but in the thumbnail you said my 7 years old sister is on the run for murder. Aren't you the problem? My cat got me pregnant. We don't know this cat. My best friend is the president's son. President Trump? Because if he is, he's assassinated. No, I'm just kidding. Let's just fucking watch let's see a short one. Where's a short one that can withstand?
Hi, my name is Katie, and I'm the
What the fuck is this fucking character? First off, what the fuck is those?
best friend of the president's son. You may think that being friends with such a person is awesome, but that's not true at all, and here's why. Before meeting the president's family, I was just an ordinary girl, just like any other girl in my city. I went to high school and worked as a delivery girl in the evenings because I needed extra pocket money. My life was a series of quiet and calm days until everything changed. One evening,
Until everything changed.
I was delivering a package, and when I was about to cross the road, I noticed a strange guy who hid his face under a cap and sunglasses. At the same time, he didn't take his eyes off his smartphone and went straight along the road towards the cars without looking at the traffic lights. There were many people around, but I was the only one who reacted. Without hesitation, I roughly took the guy by the shoulders and pulled him so hard that both of us fell to the sidewalk. Meanwhile, a car drove by half a meter away.
Harassment. Assault.
The stranger was completely shocked by what had happened. At first, he lay on the sidewalk and nervously looked around. Then he thanked me quickly and hurried away.
He deaf.
I was a
No,
little
he
annoyed with this
blind.
guy's
What the
carelessness
Harley?
because
He
when I
dumb.
fell, I landed right on the package. It was hopelessly damaged, which meant that I wouldn't be paid for it. I didn't even want.
Yeah, one job, kid. Yeah, one job. Hello, guys. It's not Friday. Okay, so you know, she gave the package to the guy she's supposed to deliver for. And you remember when she said she had pocket money? Well, she lost it all from that guy because she broke her package, so, that sucks for her.
In the evening, my whole family drew round the table, but dinner was interrupted by the doorbell ringing. When I opened the door, I saw a young guy. I hardly recognized the weirdo who crossed the road against the traffic lights. I let him in, and then he officially introduced himself. His name was Robert, and he turned out to be the president's son. At first, I didn't even believe him and thought that it was just a stupid...
Wait. So what state are you in? Because I know you didn't voice this shit. I know you didn't voice this shit. What? What state do you live in? That is not Donald Trump. I mean, what country? No, what part of the fucking world instead of the U.S.? Like, my brother's a cyborg. Oh, God. The girl's friend with the president's son. Yeah, how is she not? She doesn't even look president. She looks like she's from
Prank.
France.
He saw my reaction, smiled, and showed his ID. I was so surprised
This is my ID. I robbed it from an old man earlier.
that I couldn't even say a word. And while I was standing there shocked by the fact that that afternoon I had saved the president's son, he told my parents about my feat. Robert considered me a true hero, and he wanted to thank me for saving him. That's why he ordered to figure out my
First off, what?
identity and my exact address using footage from the street cameras. Robert said that he would be very pleased if I came to visit him tomorrow and accept an award from the entire presidential family as an expression of gratitude.
Oh, you just saved the whole world? Does Trump's, son have a girlfriend? If it is, then this story, I know as bullshit as it is correct. I gotta look it up. God, I gotta do it.
Dollars. There was also a journalist who interviewed me and took some photos with Robert's family, and
Yep, I think this is true. God damn it, Johnny. God damn it. They kind of look alike. Okay, blue eyes. God damn it.
because he turned out to be a very lonely person. We exchanged phone numbers and kept in touch.
Gay. TikTok is actually cool. I'm talking about the freaking dumb video. That's about to hop up in 3, 2.
The meeting with the president's family didn't go unnoticed, and when they learned about it at school, I was in the spotlight. I used to have a few friends before, but now everyone wanted to be friends with me. All the hype was
All of them simps.
a little frightening, but I won't deny the fact that I even liked such a life. However, I liked to communicate with Robert most of all. We texted each other almost every day. Sometimes he found time to
Robert.
meet me and spend an evening together. We had
Hold on. Time for another Google search. Hello guys, it's the number 6 guy here. I looked it up because the number 5 guy was lazy. So, what happened was, Trump doesn't even have a kid named Robert. He has a brother named Robert that tragically passed away. So, yeah. That story is really debunked, so, yeah.
Robert was fond of the same things as me, namely collecting various robots from construction kits. It's rather weird, but we like creating new things. And we were both very embarrassed of our hobby. Since childhood, I liked to do arts and crafts. When I got my first construction
Baldi's
kit, I
Basics.
began to assemble robots that I came up with in my head. I was embarrassed to admit it to anyone because they could start laughing at me and only my parents knew about it. Engage in politics, hoping that in the future his son would be able to become president as well. Thanks to this hobby and trust in each other, we gradually got closer and became best friends who could chat about anything or brag about another.
Will this fucking woman shut the fuck up?
However, there were disadvantages in this friendship as well.
A disadvantage is, one, monkey. Now look at this fucking monkey.
Well, once we decided to take a walk in the park, and that walk became fatal for us because suddenly some masked people came running to us from behind the bushes and began to threaten us with guns. Tall men in formal suits appeared literally out of nowhere
Bro, you tell me that security guard did not just grown up
and surrounded us to protect us. A couple of shots rang out and the attackers were rounded up at once.
Yes, the men that popped out of nowhere were like, we have guns. Oh damn! That's what literally just happened there. With this poor ass animation, low budget shit. How many videos did this freaking channel make? I'd rather watch Flamingo or DT Live, but I can't. Meet my story. You have, oh my god, I have 10 Oh God.
I was really scared, but Robert apparently had been there before because he stayed calm. Apparently, being the president's son is not as awesome as it might seem. According to Robert, they tried to kidnap him several times, but always
Get your ass.
because he always had security.
Fucking
And on the
you
day
tall
I
ass
saved his
Slenderman.
life, there were no bodyguards close enough to Robert as they were waiting for him in the limousine across the street.
Hold on. I'm gonna just act. You know. I'm gonna just act
Calm.
that.
Apparently, being the president's son is not as awesome
Hold
as
on.
it might seem. According to Robert, they tried to kidnap him several
Get your ass in here,
times, but
motherfucker!
always
Oh
failed
my
because he
fucking
always
god!
had
Not
security.
again, you tall ass
And on the
Slenderman
day
bitch.
I saved
Get
his
off.
life, there were no bodyguards close enough to Robert as they were waiting for him in the limousine across
Good.
the street. They were immediately fired for such negligence. That day, I feared for my
Why?
life for the first time ever and
Oh,
realized
you protect my son. Oh, you're fired. I didn't know your ass was about to get. Huh? That's just dumb. It's my opinion, but it's
the
dumb.
president's friends are also in danger if they are close. Robert understood it as well and said that everything would be fine, but unfortunately, he was wrong. I was going to spend time with my family over the weekend. Suddenly, the door to the house fell with a bang.
Get your
As
ass.
people with guns ran into the living room, we had no time to do anything, and we had to do what they said.
We about to make you suck.
For the check of $1 million, and they were determined to get it at any cost.
Give us your $1
They
million,
never had time
bitch.
to cash it, and Dad carefully gave them the piece of paper they came for. In the end, the robbers took a few more valuables and ran away. The police helped us quickly find the criminals, who once used to be close friends of the family. When Robert found out about it, he helped us to compensate for all the damage done, although we never asked for that. But he still couldn't do one thing. He couldn't change the public opinion. After the robbery, all of our neighbors and some acquaintances began to avoid us for some reason.
You could be getting
Oh, we just got robbed. And I'm the president's.
Subscribe to Cengage Unlimited and save today.
As a result, Robert remained my only friend, but I was always at risk with him. Even my parents had a lot to bear because they started receiving threatening letters at work. To put it mildly, their bosses weren't happy with it because my parents couldn't focus on their duties due to stress, so they missed a lot of deadlines. Soon, gross violations were found in their reports, so they had to quit the work they had done for so many years. So my whole family was in a terrible situation.
Drop your kid at the fucking fire station. Just do it.
Of course, we had a lot of money and we were acquainted with the president's family, but it was the cause of all of our problems. Once I had a meltdown, I couldn't take it anymore and told Robert
To let you know, guys. To let you know. Every single motherfucking video. These kids just ruined their whole entire family. No, for every single fucking kid just ruins their entire family. Every single one. And they play this card that every single scumbag uses. You know what it is? I'll give you 5 seconds. Your choices are the victim card. The other card. The card that's it. Oh yeah, I did it. The card, the line card, which is pretty much like the victim card. Which would you pick? If you picked other than victim, if you picked victim, you were correct. If you pick any other one, you're dumb. Because these people just use the victim card. Oh, I don't know why. Come on.
about all of these problems. It hurt me to say that being friends with him was causing so much trouble, and I was really sorry.
Oh shit, you literally got robbed.
For some reason, I was sure that Robert would begin to take revenge on me for such words, but he understood and even offered a deal. Robert decided to help us move to another city so that the bad people couldn't find us. He talked about it with his dad. He agreed to pay for the move and offered my parents a good job.
They're lucky. They're really lucky. God.
All I had to do was stay friends with Robert at least remotely because he needed a good friend like me. We got used to each other, and such an agreement suited both of us. My parents didn't hesitate and agreed because we were scared even to go to the store in our city.
Look at these guys. Hey yo, Jimmy. Yeah, what's up? We about to rob these fools. I heard they were gonna move to another city.
Moreover, the security at our house reported suspicious individuals every now and then. They managed to catch the criminals several times. It took us very little time to pack up.
God damn it.
Now we live in the north of the country in a town surrounded by snow-capped mountains. Despite the fact that it is far away from any city, life is still in full swing here, which made us very happy. On the recommendations of the president, my parents made it to the upper post at a large company in the...
Okay, you know, they succeed. I'm just gonna watch another one, okay? Let's see here. Why Stormy animated? My mother never protected me. I just found out why. What's down here? I wish I remained deaf and never got my hearing back. Okay. Girls, I pretend to be a policeman. Texted my mom instead of dad. Ended up homeless. I texted my mom instead of dad. My school is my hell. My dad is a billionaire. I ruined my dad's wedding by selling the bribe. Time for dinner. I like my crush when it goes for use. See, you can see. And also, one of these animations channels stole someone else's artwork. I mean, I could just go to their video right now. I mean, they literally did a poor job at tracing it. Like, it's not my story animated.
My bag with money. I heard a ticking sound. I looked around nervously. Then I shouted at her to hurry up. And that's when I caught her looking at my gun. Then looking back at me. I started sweating. I was very anxious. However, things got worse when I noticed where the ticking sound came from. It was my gun. It was dripping water. Busted. That's what I thought. At that moment, I realized that the employee must have noticed it, and that's why she was looking my direction and whispered in a low voice, "Run." I froze for a moment. What? Why? I thought to myself, yet I saw her rolling her eyes toward the back door, as if she was giving me directions where to go. Without having a second thought, I grabbed my bag and ran as fast as possible. You're probably as confused as I was. Well, if you want to know what happened next, hit the like button and subscribe.
I bet I'll hit the like button. Upside down.
Channel. Otherwise, my water gun will appear in your dreams. I was hiding my other side of the building. I ran towards it and managed to get out of there without anyone noticing me. I drove to an old garage where I was hiding another car. I changed my clothes, transferred the bag of money to the new car, and went back to the bank I robbed. You might think that I'm crazy, but what the worker did was crazier. I couldn't risk letting her go, so I came back planning to kidnap her. Yes, you heard it right. I had to go that far because I had no choice. It was either jail or committing another sin. Honestly, she's right. If it wasn't for her, I would have been rotting in jail right now. But 50% is a lot. I can't promise her something like that. I remained silent for a few seconds. I just couldn't say no because she might expose me. So I just answered, "Deal." And she actually destroyed the GPS into small pieces. She just did it. I mean, how could she trust me that fast? I was so curious and puzzled about that girl. I mean, I know she asked for half of the money, but why? Why is she doing such a thing? I knew there was something behind what happened because no one would risk their life for no reason. I know I did it because of a strong reason. You see, for all my life, I've been a poor kid. Though it didn't bother me at first, life had to prove me wrong. At first, money didn't mean anything to me. I saw how it seemed like 5 hours until we arrived at my secret place. I lived in a small, abandoned caravan in the middle of the woods. At first, I hesitated whether to expose my secret home to her or not. However, I had no choice. I had to trust that mysterious girl. When we arrived there, I showed her around, and she seemed happy. She looked kind of cute while smiling. I tried to get some answers out of her, yet she was stubborn. She said, "I bet your reason is stronger than mine. I mean, having the guts to rob a bank with a water gun?" While grinning at me. I got up to make us some coffee while thinking of a way to get rid of her, when I suddenly got a phone call. Don't worry, I don't have a smartphone, which could easily get me arrested. It was a phone that only my dad had its number. It was a phone for emergencies. My dad's case got worse. He told me that he saw my face on the news. I felt ashamed to hear his crying voice blaming himself over the phone, yet I assured him that I'll be fine. However, while apologizing to him, I heard someone screaming. It was a nurse calling the doctor saying that the patient's condition had gotten worse and he needed a doctor immediately. I heard the machine's voices over the phone and I couldn't do anything. I stood there, waiting patiently, crying and calling his name, hoping that he'll be okay. At that moment, I realized how bad I messed up. I knew that he needed the surgery sooner than ever, but my problem was how to get to the hospital and pay the money. I'm a wanted man. As I went back and forth, biting my nails,
He's a new, question. Send the girl. Send the girl. Let's say, hey, okay, yeah, you get the money. Can you fucking donate? Can you fucking, give the money to, who else? My dad that has category 4 cancer. I think he has cancer, but I don't know.
Out of stress, I heard Diana saying, "I'll do it." I stared at her shockingly, and then she said, "I want to be part of your plan. I can help you, and I'm sure that you need my help. Trust me, you have nothing to lose after all." I was extremely confused. Why? Why would you risk your life even more? I asked, when she interrupted me saying, "But you have to trust me and stop asking questions, and I'll tell you everything when I'm ready." I had no choice but to agree. I told her my story and how I had to do the whole thing because of my father's surgery. While talking, I noticed that she had been trying hard to hold her tears from worse. She might die. That's when I decided to finally drive her to the hospital. However, when I arrived, I did the worst thing ever. I put her on the front door and ran away. I left her there on the cold ground while the nurses were running towards her. With tears in my eyes, I drove away. Yes, I was a coward. I left her there alone. Days passed and I felt suffocated. For the first time in my life, I had nightmares. The image of Diana laying on the ground, helpless, kept repeating itself through my mind. I started screaming and breaking things. I just wanted to get it out of my head. I even bought medicine to get some sleep. Since that day, my life turned to an absolute hell. I had black circles and my face was pale all the time. And what's worse is that each time I looked in the mirror, I hated myself. That's when I finally made my decision. But before making any move, I went to visit my father. I disguised myself and snuck into his room in the hospital. When he saw me, it was as if he saw a ghost. I went to his arms and cried. I told him my story, and what he said next broke my heart into a million pieces. "I know you justified your robbery to save me, and I'm extremely guilty, yet thankful for what you have done. You sacrificed your life to save mine. Though it should be the opposite. I know with time you might forget about robbing the bank or leaving Diana behind, but you will regret it for all of your life. And what you'll regret the most is not saying goodbye to Diana." That was my father's advice. I walked out of the hospital that night with a strange feeling in my stomach.